Hi, I'm Andrew with Advanced Office, a talent acquisition specialist. And one of the most common questions I'm getting today is, how is Advanced handling the COVID-19 situation? And while this is kind of uncharted territory for everybody in the country right now, we have been around for 40 years and we've been through a number of economic and other type of crises in the last 40 years, and we've come through all of them. The good news is we are a stable company financially and operationally. We're also very nimble and flexible when it comes to making changes as the market changes and we need to react. And finally, we have amazing customers and amazing employees. A lot of these customers have actually been with us through previous crises, and they stuck with us because of how we were able to work with them to support their business for what they needed, and they've continued to support ours. So for a little bit more perspective, I've brought in a new team member, Kyle, our Director of Marketing and Customer Experience, to kind of ask him a couple of questions about how COVID-19 has affected his department. So Kyle, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Being involved with the Zoom meeting here. And I've got just a few questions for you. You ready to get started?
Yep, go ahead.
Awesome. So first, just in broad terms, how has COVID-19 affected your department?
Well, our department has been affected just like everybody else, pretty much, the displacement. People who are used to coming into an office are suddenly working from home. That brings a host of complications to most people, but in a dispatch and customer service center where you're tied to phone systems and tracking charts and all sorts of screens and monitors, to be able to all of a sudden try and do that from home is added complication to maybe a salesperson who might normally be a little more flexible like that. We're also dealing with customer service, and customers who are still working right now, essential businesses, are dealing with an immense amount of stress. So while we may have seen a drop in some of our normal call patterns, we're definitely dealing with much more stressful situations.
Thank you. So what stood out for you about how our company has implemented the work environment shift?
Simply how quickly it was done. I think it was within a few hours as a company, we were able to get together the resources necessary, instructions, how it was going to work, integration charts, and people were home up working live the next day. I think that impressed me most of all, the ability to be flexible, to be nimble, to be agile. Coming from a much larger organization previously, that kind of adaptability wouldn't exist.
Yeah, I know as an independent dealer, we're a smaller company than the previous manufacturer that you worked for. So what kind of difference do you think this made, for good or bad, in how we've been reacting?
Well, I would say it's primarily good. Again, it's the ability to get out in front quickly, the ability to adapt, the ability not to have to go through several boards and bureaucracies and departments and cross-country channels to get things done. Everyone knows each other on a personal level, works well with each other on a personal level, has the resources to get things done and the willingness to do it quickly. There's two scenarios I liken it to. One is obviously turning a ship. Trying to turn an oil barger, it's going to take you half a mile to do it. It's much more like being in a speedboat. In a situation where tsunami is coming at you pretty quickly, you want to be in a speedboat, turn around and get going the opposite direction as quickly as possible. That's really been a strength here. Similar to as the sports analogy, the big guy everyone's afraid of because his stats look off the charts because he's 7'2", but he can't run, he can't move, he can't turn, he can't get out of the way. He's got one set of skills, but the adaptability isn't there. And Advanced has been pretty amazing, showing off their ability to move with a really rapidly changing scenario like COVID-19.
Great analogies. And then finally, how is the response to our changes or continued stability in supporting our customers? How's that response been from the customers that you talk to on a daily basis?
Well, that kind of goes back to that first question. Everyone who is working right now is extremely stressed.
That's okay. We're all working from home.
Yeah, that's one of the things you have to roll with. They're in stressful situations. I think we kind of brace for that stress to come out negatively, but what we're getting is a lot of relief. We answer the phone and it's that, oh, thank goodness you guys are there. You are still working. Because I mean, a lot of what we do, service and supplies, it involves toner, and I like to call toner as the lifeblood of a business. It really is. It's that liquid lifeblood. And in these situations where businesses are struggling to survive day to day, we may not be deemed an essential business if you were to talk to a politician, but we're essential to the business of essential businesses. And when they call and they know we're still here, we can still get there within 4 hours. We can still get them toner immediately. They don't have to worry about that part of their job. They just have to worry about saving lives and keeping people safe. It's mostly relief that we're getting. It's thank goodness you guys are still there.
Oh, that's great to hear. I know we have a lot of hospitals and grocery stores as customers, part of our customer base.
Yeah.
I know they're all working still.
No, they're working, and they're working harder than they've ever worked. So the fact that we're still able to keep up with them and keep them going, it's one less thing for them to worry about.
Well, thank you so much. And for anybody watching the video, thanks for checking it out and being interested in the company.
Yeah.